Hello, hello. Just wait a minute or two for people to arrive, then we'll get started. You want to say hello? Yeah, say hello. You want to say hi? Come here. Say hi. Good girl. Where's Tria? Oh, you got a cold? You got a cold, sweetheart? Where? Oh, say hi. Say hi, Tria. I know you don't like it so much. You don't like being held. I get a hole in my pants. Yeah, say hi, guys. I know, but I still like scratches. Okay, there you go. Oh, I know. She's like, I didn't want that. I wanted a treat. Give me food. Give me ham. Okay, we'll wait 30 more seconds. Oh, God.
Julio.
All right, my friends, let's get started, shall we? Yes. Welcome, everyone, to week 6. So this week we are learning all about nutrition, one of my, I really, really like this topic. I shouldn't say favorite because I shouldn't play favorites, should I? But I do really love and care about nutrition a lot. So welcome. Today we are going to focus on setting you up for success with Lab 2, which is open now and it'll be due at the end of week 7, so the end of next week. Oh, I did want to record today. Normally I record on Wednesdays, but I don't know why. I just had a premonition that I need to record today just in case Wednesday goes off the rails. So I am going to hit record. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gen Ed 140 Healthy Lifestyle Management Week 6. This week you are learning about nutrition. This week and next week, actually, because it's such a huge topic. And this week I'm going to set you up with the instructions for Lab 2, which is open now and due at the end of week 7. So let's take a momentito to open up. Okay, here we are on our course, Healthy Lifestyle Management Combined. Here we are in nutrition. The guinea pigs are snacking on carrot sticks. And at some point this week, you're going to want to go into the content, scroll down to week 6, nutrition, and then, of course, watch the PowerPoint video lesson narrated by yours truly this week. How exciting. And then I've broken down for you the 6 essential nutrient classes, which is really the learning objectives for this week. This week is all about understanding these 6 essential nutrient classes. And if I actually go off this, I'll share my PowerPoint for a moment. So what you see when you watch the movie, play from current slide, is you learn about the different nutrient classes. So proteins, carbohydrates, fats, proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water. And all of our foods that we take in, or liquids, can be categorized into these 6 essential nutrient classes. The proteins, carbs, fats, water, we need in large amounts, so we call those our macronutrients. And then the vitamins and minerals we need in smaller amounts, so we call those our micronutrients. And that is the focus of this week's learning, is all about these essential nutrient classes. By the time you finish the learning, you'll know what they are, what they do for us, and where you can find them. So, for example, protein is amino acid chain that is found in things like meat and a lot of animal products, but as well in some plant-based products as well, lentils, quinoa. And protein helps with building muscle and fortifying our bones. It helps with cell repair, with hormone balancing as well. And lastly, when it comes to protein, you have complete sources and incomplete sources. Per that amino acid chain, there are 20 of them in nature, 9 that we need. And sometimes you can get all 9 in one source, like a piece of meat. That would have a complete protein. But maybe peanut butter or like a nut butter is a plant-based source, so it's an incomplete source. It has some of the amino acids that we need, but not all 9. But that's okay. If you're vegetarian or you don't eat a lot of meat or animal products, you can get a bunch of incomplete protein sources and mix them together throughout a 24-hour period to give you that complete protein experience. All right, so once you have done the learning for this week, then it's time to work on Lab 2. So from there, we will, I'm not sharing my screen anymore, sorry, bad habit. Share screen. Which one? Here. Okay, so I'm in the folder for this week, and I just advanced from this topic, and embedded right in the folder is the Lab 2 instructions and the folder for you. So very similar to Lab 1 and the Healthy Lifestyle Management Plan assignment, the template document is attached to the folder, and you would click and download it to the device that you're working on. So now I will share that screen with you. Okay. Okay, so you open it up and the lab has two parts. The first part is a nutrition journal. It's this spreadsheet, and you are going to track everything you eat and everything you drink. Track everything you eat and drink for a minimum of 5 days. Yeah? So I have given you an example. Here at 7 a.m. I had some water, then at 8 I had eggs, 10 a.m. I had tea, noon I had some curry, 3 p.m. I had my cookies. Told you I love those afternoon cookies. Dinner I had some crispy chicken and a salad, and 7 o'clock I had some dark chocolate. Now, the important thing is this is just an example. The first thing I want you to do when you open up this template is to delete my example. I don't need to see my example. How do I edit? Clear content, okay? So you can get rid of my example. The next thing you can feel free to do is change the timing or change the days so that it reflects your recording. Like, for example, when I was in class with my students today, like a lot of them don't eat until maybe noon or something, and then they continue to eat until like 1 or 2 a.m. That's absolutely fine. Change the headings of this document to work for you. The only criteria is track for 5 days minimum. Everything you eat, everything you drink. Okay, that's part 1. Anybody have questions about part 1? Am I making sense? Stuart Lay says I'm making sense, and everyone else is maybe not. Oh, thank you, Celeste. Okay. Okay, so that's part 1. So now let's scroll down to part 2. Part 2 is after 5 days, not before, because you need the data. You need at least 5 days of data before you can do part 2. And part 2 is asking you to identify some potential negative health habits that you might have noticed you have when you look at your food intake for the week, right? And so maybe you notice that, like, oh man, I eat sweets every day at around 3 o'clock. So one of my nutrition habits is eating sweet processed foods every afternoon. And the reason why I usually do it is because I'm tired and a bit hungry, and I want to perk myself up. And then what is an action step? What is something concrete you could do to try to fight against that negative habit, to try and improve it? So maybe I could replace my cookies and chocolate bars with apples, which I learned are naturally caffeinated. I have no idea how to spell caffeine. Or nuts and fruit. And sometimes people also, so some of the other habits that people flag are that they don't eat anything. And then they come home from school and then they start eating their first meal at dinner time, right? And then they have a massive meal. Or they order Uber Eats, like Uber Eats, or fast food so much. So every single lab is going to look different because everyone's eating habits are different. So I'm interested in you tracking everything you eat and drink, and then looking for the patterns within the tracker that indicate, oh, I might have a negative health habit here. It could be drinking too much caffeine, right? Especially in the afternoon, which affects my sleep. which affects my sleep. I end up wired and go to bed too late and don't get enough of it. Don't get enough sleep. And so, what is the situation surrounding it? Well, I just answered it there, actually. Too much caffeine. I end up wired and go to bed too late. Actually, no, I was wrong. Sorry, I'm a bit all over the place today, guys. I apologize. So why I do this could be I feel tired in the afternoon and the Tim Hortons is right outside my classroom, so it's easy to reach for another cup of coffee. Now I can't imagine how I'd function without it. And what would be a potential, a concrete action step this person could take to try and correct this health habit that is too much caffeine late in the day that's throwing off their sleep? What could they do about it, you think?
Maybe taking a short walk?
Great. Thank you, Lisa. I could take a short walk rather than order coffee. The fresh air and movement would perk me up. Drink a substitution. A substitution. Yes. Okay, Sandra, what's a good substitution, you think? Tea. Yeah, less caffeine and a different effect on the body, depending on what the tea is, and depending on how it affects your body. But yeah, that could be an alternative as well. Or I could order a tea instead. Green tea doesn't affect my sleep the way coffee does. Great. I like that. One thing I don't like, though, is when people say to me, drink water. If you're a coffee addict, if you're a caffeine addict, I don't believe for a second that drinking a glass of water is like, oh, now I don't want the coffee. I don't think that's true. I think you're just writing that because it sounds good, but in practice, you wouldn't actually do that. And believe it or not, the assignments in this course are meant to be for practical application, like things you actually would do, not just things you say because it sounds reasonable. If you are a coffee addict, you know what I'm talking about. Water is not going to cut it. Okay. And lastly, I want to bring to your attention here, this kind of looks funny, so let me just put it there. Okay. So when you go to write the second part of the lab, you'll see that there's a bunch of questions here. These are not questions to answer for the assignment. These are questions to prompt you if you're having a hard time thinking about what your negative nutrition habits are. They're meant to help you think about, like, when you're up here looking at your all of the meals and snacks and liquids and timing, to make you think, oh, okay, that's right, I haven't drunk a lot of water. Or do I eat within 2 hours of going to bed? Yes, actually, I do eat quite late before I go to bed. So once again, these questions are here as prompts to help you think for yourself. They're not questions that I need the answer to. And when people do submit their assignment to me with the answers to these questions, it's frustrating because it's a way of showing me you didn't actually read the instructions. And I don't want to penalize you, but I need people to slow down and read the instructions. Yeah? So, once again, first part of the lab is to track everything you eat and drink for 5 days minimum, which means you can start today, but you have to start by next Tuesday, right? Because it's due on Sunday, not this Sunday, but the next Sunday. So you have to give yourself at least 5 days before the due date. And also, feel free to change the titles, the headings, and the timings so that they reflect when you eat and drink. Don't worry about when I eat and drink. And then I'm going to be looking for patterns and correlations. So if you tell me that you're someone who drinks a lot of coffee in the afternoon, then I'm going to scroll up here and I'm going to be looking for the evidence that confirms, oh yeah, I noticed that this person has coffee, around 4 to 5 p.m. almost every single day. So I'm looking for that connection. Okay, and then you come down here at the end of 5 days or 6 days, and you identify the negative nutrition habit. You tell me a little bit about what's going on. Why do you think you have this habit? And what is a concrete action step you could take to address this negative habit? When you're finished, you save the document, preferably as a PDF, and then you would upload it just like you did with Lab 1 and the Healthy Lifestyle Management assignment. So Lab 2 is due at the end of week 7. Does anyone have questions for me about Lab 2? Do you feel like you know what to do? You're set up for success with this assessment? Astrid does. Suette is clear. Celeste is clear. Thank you. Great, Eliza. Okay, good. So just a couple of reminders then before we hang up. So next week is Family Day. Family Day means there's no Zoom. Means no Zoom next Monday. So you can come to, I spelled it wrong, sorry. You can come to Wednesday's Zoom if you want that live interaction with me, or you can watch the recording when I upload it. And then double missing because the week after that is engagement week. And there are no classes, no Zooms, and no content, and no assessments due during engagement week. So that means I won't see you guys until March. So, Carla, I think what you're asking me is, Lab 2 is 2 parts. The first is the tracker. Tell me everything you eat and drink for 5 days. And the second part is to fill out the chart. These questions are prompt questions for you to think about to help you answer the tracker, the chart. You do not need to answer these questions for me. If you answer these questions, the ones I'm highlighting, it tells me you haven't read the instructions carefully. I think that's what you were asking me about, Carla. But please let me know if I misunderstood your question.
Yes, Miss Amanda. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It's okay now?
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Okay, great. So that was everything I wanted to talk to you about. Nutrition this week, Lab 2 instructions, no Zoom next week because of Family Day, and then no Zoom again because of Engagement Week. Yeah? Okay, well, enjoy the learning this week. And if I don't see you for 2 weeks, have a great engagement week, and I'll see you in March. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.